Welcome to this week's edition of the Commish Report. My name is Kevin Jeffrey, your moderator, and I'm joined by County Commissioner District 1, Katie Delaney. And Katie, welcome again to the Commish Report. Lots of things to talk about here. We have Speak Up Brevard, and you want to make some changes to Speak Up Brevard in order to give it more, let's say, more oomph.
Yes.
From the, with regard to the people.
Yes.
And so you're proposing some changes, and that's going to come up when?
This coming commission meeting on Tuesday. It's a 9 a.m. meeting, so anybody who is interested in the program and wants to come and give some public comment and feedback on our policy change, I'd love to have you. If you can't make it to the meeting, please email all of us, all 5 commissioners. That way we can take your input into this policy change.
And this is very, very important, right?
Yes.
Now, people talk about the fact that the people don't have a voice, but this is where we get a voice, right?
Exactly.
And so you're proposing that the current policy is a 30-day submission period for the changes or for the proposals, and you're wanting to change it to what, 60 days?
60 days, exactly. Okay. That way people have more time to curate their ideas and more time to get it in there, because unfortunately that time of the year is, busy for everybody. It's Christmas time. But the reason why we have the submissions open during that time is so that it lines up with the budget season.
County manager review time, it's 90 days currently. You want to change it to 60-day evaluation period. So what does that mean?
So basically, when I talked to staff about this process, some of them had mentioned to me that they felt like it was kind of drawn out over the 90 days. So I think that bringing it back to the 60 days gets it off their desk a little faster, and it gives the commission more time to have the binders and to have the ideas and the staff recommendations, so that we can really dive deep into these books. And one of the things I did last year was I went through all of the different ideas and looked at the staff recommendations, and the ones that I thought might be able to go somewhere, I actually reached out to the submitters and talked to them to try to hear more about their idea and so on and so forth. So, but we only had it for about, I think it was around 10 or 12 days last time. So this would give more time to the commissioners to really be able to dive into it and have that opportunity.
Digest it.
Right.
The other proposal that you're proposing on public hearing and vote is that the current public hearing and vote at a regular BOCC meeting, you want actually a special BOCC meeting just for this,
right,
just for Speak Up Brevard.
Yes. So our experience last year, unfortunately, the citizens had to wait 5 hours throughout our regular board meeting to get to their Speak Up Brevard agenda item. And what that led to was everything was just like people were done with the meeting, and
because
so
you're dealing with people who are not used to government and sitting in those kind of meetings.
Right. Okay. And so people honestly felt a little bit pushed off. Some of the commissioners actually tried to limit the amount of time that these speakers would have to speak from 3 to 2 minutes. Luckily, I was like, come on, these people have waited this long. They've prepared speeches. Let's let them have their 3 minutes. And so the commission let them have their 3 minutes, thankfully. But I think that pushing this off to the end of a board meeting is just not fair. It's not right. And if we really want to show the people that, we care about their ideas, I think having a dedicated meeting is not unreasonable.
And so the other thing is that you have the workshop, and that was last year was the first time you had the workshop, right?
Yes.
And so the workshop is important, and you want to codify it to where it's heard directly, the commissioners get a chance to hear directly from the submitters.
Yes. Right. I would like for them to be able to give a short presentation on their ideas so that we can hear from them and get more context of their idea before we get the staff recommendations. And that way, that this is just part of the process that we, once the submission closes, we have the workshop, and then at that time, within 60 days of the submissions closing, we get the staff recommendation.
Limits on what the county manager can reject.
Right. Okay. So a couple of years ago, Commissioner Tabaya, when he was on the dais, he changed a lot of the Speak Up Brevard policy. Basically, there are submissions sometimes that are outside the jurisdiction of the board. And so like say something goes to our property appraiser or our tax collector or our sheriff, if there's something in those realms, the county manager currently has the authority to just deny those requests right off the bat because they're not under our jurisdiction. But my argument is I bet our constitutional officers would love to hear this feedback from the public, and they don't have
a mechanism of it.
Right, unless they go and email the constitutional officers directly. You know, our constitutional officers, thankfully, are pretty accessible, but this process is going on, so why not allow that feedback? And other things was like, if something's like a not relevant or not a full idea, something like that, that the county manager can just single-handedly reject it. And I don't really agree with that, because I think that we are the ones, the commission, this is
your responsibility.
This is our responsibility.
Right?
Yeah. So I really feel like we should have the opportunity as the elected officials to see all of the submissions from the constituents.
So now comes the big question. What do you think is going to happen? This is the big question. Great information, great proposals.
You know, I really feel like I don't know how it's going to go. I know that the staff, the county manager doesn't love this program. The last county manager didn't love the program. They feel like they waste a lot of staff time doing this. And I just really feel like if we want to do any work on restoring public trust and building a better relationship with the people that we're elected to serve, we need to breathe some life into this program. And I keep being told, oh, well, there's other ways that people can tell us their feedback or give their ideas and so on. So I inquired about that. And I said, well, what are these other ways? Well, one of the ways is you can go to your commissioner and ask them to sponsor an agenda item. When have we ever seen that?
Right.
And then there's another thing. You can go on the county website and put in your feedback. There's a feedback button and so on and so forth. And I asked, well, where does this feedback go? Oh, it goes directly to the departments. And I asked them, is there any kind of checks and balances to see, like, is anyone checking up on this feedback to see, like, what was done with it? Oh, well, no.
So it's not filed, is it?
Right. So it goes into the abyss. And so, like, this program, the thing that makes it so special is that we have to respond. This is in our charter that the citizens wanted this. Another thing I'm told is, oh, well, the ideas aren't always the best or whatever, and how does this go towards effectiveness or efficiency or so on and so forth? And my response to that is, well, when only so few people know about the program and so few people participate, you're not always going to get the best ideas, but maybe if we breathe life into it and actually show that it's something worth doing, then people will say, okay, this is worth my time now.
What do you think, particularly in Brevard County, where you have a lot of specialized fields where people are retired from, that you have a wealth of information in this county, probably more than most counties?
Probably.
Right?
I would say that we probably have a major concentration of educated people, you know, from all around the country, all around the world. They come to this area. So I think that we have this untapped asset here, which is our people. And I know that there's got to be great ideas out there. So I'm hoping that if we can breathe new life into this program and show people that it's not just going to be a rubber stamp to whatever staff says, that more people will participate to give meaningful suggestions.
Okay, so what can the people do to make this a reality on Tuesday?
So if you could, like I said, come to the meeting if you have a desire to speak about the Speak Up Brevard program, or you could email all 5 commissioners to give your input if you can't make it. It's at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, and I hope you can make it.
All right, so that brings us to SOIRL, and so SOIRL is coming up. Will it end if it doesn't pass a vote in 2026?
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on SOIRL? Do you think that if it's placed on the ballot, which it hasn't been yet, that it should be placed on the ballot, and what are your thoughts on it?
I definitely believe that we need our sales tax. I think that we need that because I think that it should be changed a little bit from what it is currently right now. I almost feel like we kind of did this backwards, because what we've been doing is a lot of projects, which there is some success that there's some seagrass that's growing. There's some areas that are clearing up where the water's clearing up, the water quality is better, but there's a lot of areas where it's not. And my argument is I personally believe we should have focused on our infrastructure, our sewage plants, the pipes that are, so old all around the county, the stormwater, all this stuff that's going into the lagoon, because how can it heal itself if we are continually still putting pollution in there?
Correct.
But I think that if we change it up a bit and really focus on our infrastructure, focus on stormwater, that will make a much bigger difference, and it'll allow for the things like the clams and the all the different projects that are going on. It'll allow for those to just succeed so much more.
Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think that there's going to be a proposal to get it on that would actually include that provision?
I would think so. From the whispers I'm hearing around, and I've been hearing some of the people who work with the lagoon projects and whatnot, they're starting to talk more about the infrastructure as well. So I'm hoping that that I'll get support for those changes to be made. I think that it's a popular thing, and it's because the good thing about the sales tax, nobody wants to pay more sales tax, but at least the tourists, the people that are coming into Brevard County, they're contributing to this cause, whereas if not, it's just property taxes. And we don't want to raise property taxes. And especially with the governor talking about the possibility of property taxes going away at some point, which I'm all for. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But as a elected official, we got to have other ways to fund the government.
So what do you say to the people who believe that this is nothing but a boondoggle and that they're misusing a lot of these funds and it's just become this big bureaucracy and that it's just a money pit?
Right. Unfortunately, I can't totally disagree with them, because at least in the north end we go, and I mean, you just go to the river and we don't have to talk about what we smell.
Right.
So it's not that there hasn't been some good work throughout, but I feel like we're not stopping the source, and we have to stop the source if we're going to make any changes to the lagoon long term.
I think if you stop the source, you would actually have a better chance of clearing up the majority of the problem.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, right now we're mopping with dirty water. You can't clean something up if your water's dirty. So we have to make sure that we're stopping the pollution before it gets to the lagoon. And right now that's not happening. We can't talk about it outside of sunshine, of course, but at least from the conversations that have been had on the dais, I would think that something's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see.
Veterans get preferential hiring in county government, and so, but you guys know that, but a lot of people probably don't know
Right.
that a veteran actually, if he applies for any position in the county, is going to get preferential hiring. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I mean, I'm of course a wife of a veteran, so that is a good thing for our family. But I think it's a good thing. Personally, I feel like it's the least we can do. When my husband got out of the military, you go from this lifestyle of you're taken care of. You have housing if you want it. You have the commissary, which is much less expensive, and you have all these things, and you have this whole family that surrounds you. You just feel so protected in that lifestyle. And then when you get out of the military, it's like the doors close behind you.
I mean, they've given a lot.
Right.
The best use of their life in many
Absolutely.
instances.
And honestly, there's a time period that I feel like veterans go through where sometimes they're a little bit lost because it's a real change in what their life looks like. You go from this very regimented, lifestyle to, oh gosh, there's all these choices now.
Mm.
And it can be very overwhelming. So if it's an incredible thing that we have now with this veterans preference, that people get recognized, that they've served their country, and making a pathway a little bit easier for these people, I think it's the least we could do.
You know, in the course of human history, I mean, you see back in the Roman Empire days, they established colonies for former veterans of the Roman. They really treated their former military people with honor.
Right.
And I think that sometimes in America we don't do that as much.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that we have homeless veterans in this country is just, it's a disgusting thing to me.
It really is. I mean, if you treat the people who put their lives on the
Right.
line like that, I mean, it's really unconscionable.
Yeah, and I mean, the billions of dollars that we spend overseas,
Right.
on God only knows what,
Right.
but we have veterans who don't have a home in this country.
It's
It's so
unconscionable.
wrong.
The Department of Community Service Group is what we want to focus on today as far as the departments at the county commission level. And so this group includes what? It includes tourism, it includes the
Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec, and it also libraries.
Yes.
So what do you think about that group and how is it going?
I think it's going great. It also includes housing and human services, pretty much any of the departments that touch people. Those are under the community service group.
Transit services?
Yep, the transit services.
Then also the extension services.
Yes.
Is that like 4-H or what's
So
it
it's UF, the UF partners with the extension services, and basically that's like everything to do with like farming, or they have all sorts of services there. I think you can even get CPR certified. Like there's all sorts of different things in the extension that's just really incredible. It's right in Cocoa. Anybody who wants to stop by, I think it's on Lake Drive in Cocoa, and they have, I mean, so many classes. They have gardening, chickens, like anything you can think of.
Oh, I need to get right. So, do you think that people are unaware of these?
Yes. Yes, I think that people don't realize how many services that are truly out there. Like housing and human services, for instance, they can help people who are low socioeconomic or elderly, and help with like home improvements that have to do with health and safety of their homes. Like say you have a major leak in your roof or something like that, and you're elderly and you have your income is under a certain level. There are federal funds, grants that are available for people to apply for. If you're needing to connect with any kind of services like food stamps or housing help, or say like you can't pay your electric bill, something like that, you can call Housing and Human Services and they can possibly help you connect with services that can help you.
So this Jill Hayes is the interim assistant county manager. So how would they get involved or call any one of these groups? Would they go through the person, or they call directly to the agency?
I would call directly to that department. So like if you're wanting library services, I would call the library department. If you are needing housing and human services help, I would call them. Another thing I want to mention about housing and human services is that there is a veterans help under that department, that they will help you, walk you step by step through the process of applying for your disability that you're entitled to. And so that is a very intensive, difficult process if you're doing that on your own for the first time. And we have people in there, veterans, that will help you step by step walk through and help you fill out your information so that you get the disability that you're entitled to.
Excellent. So you heard it here on the Commish report, and hopefully you can take advantage of the community service group within the county commission. It's there. I think I'm going to look up the UF extension services and find out more about how to raise my chickens. Anyway, thank you, Commish, for this edition of the Commish report, and we'll see you again next week. My name is Kevin Jeffrey, and of course I'm joined by County Commissioner of District 1, Katie Delaney. We'll see you next week.